Hello and welcome to this to part 5 of my video tutorial. In this episode we're going to be centering our image, adding some more text just to demonstrate the way it forms your text, adding a background to our page, and we'll be using CSS external files. So we're going to put all of our CSS in an external file. Right, first off we're going to center our Google image. So it's already got an ID, my image. How about we reference to it by its class? You wouldn't usually do this, it's just to demonstrate how to use classes. So instead of a hash, we use a dot my image. Some of you may prefer classes, some of you may prefer IDs, it really doesn't matter. So in our dot my image, which is referencing to the class of our image, we're going to do the same as we did before. We're going to add a width. So let's do 100 by 100 just to mess it up a bit. Height 100. So now it's going to be 100 by 100 pixels. This will really distort the image and make it all horrible, but that doesn't matter. It's just to give us a rough indication. Now let's set the margin. You probably remember how to do this. Margin 0 auto. Now when we run it, or refresh it, our image has gone all funny and it hasn't centered. This is probably because we are not using float left. No, you see that's made it worse. Right, for some reason the image isn't centering. It could be because we have to do text align center, so everything in the div will now be centered. If we take that out, yeah, now everything's centered. You may not want it like this, but if you want to center the Google image, you're probably going to have to put it in a div. So put your image inside div tags, then reference to the div and do margin 0 auto. That'll be the best way of doing that. You may be able to center an image using margin 0 auto, but it's not working for me today. So we've centered everything, including our text, by putting text align center in hash my div. So it's centered everything inside our div, everything here. And we've also set width and height on my image by referencing to its class. Now let's set background on our whole page. So body, which is referencing to the body tag, which is here. Everything inside here will do background, color, hash 666666, and then close it. This makes a relatively dark grey colour, and it just makes a decent background colour. Maybe a bit boring, but oh well. So now we have our background colour. We've centered our stuff, our Google images at the top, and it's all contained in a div. You've got your basic layout for a page now. Obviously this is rubbish. We only have a random image up the top and some random text here. This is just to show you the sort of layout and how you would do it. So you wanted to get it to go to the top, because at the moment there's a small gap for some unknown reason. What we do is body, margin, 0px, padding, 0px. Now if we refresh that, it's gone to the top. We should be able to take margin out. I don't think we need that. Oh, yeah, we do. There we go. So it's margin and padding set to 0, just underneath background colour, and now our website or our page goes to the top, and it aligns to the top, just like on mine. It aligns right to the top. So now, how about we put all of our CSS, all that code, all of this, inside an external file, because this is getting big. We don't like having this on your page and having to reload it every single time you go to a different page in your website. How about we have one line of code which loads this? What we'll do is make a new file. So if you're using Dreamweaver, file, new, CSS, create. You can take all that out. If you're using Notepad or whatever, do file, new, and then style.css. So we'll save this as style.css. Save. Now we have our style sheet. Let's copy all of this, every single thing in between the style tags. Don't take the style tags themselves. So just everything in between them. Control X. This is cut it. So now there's nothing here. Now go over to style.css. Control V. Now save that. And it's all an external file. If we save our website again, we now have no style. This is bad. All of our style sheets gone. Okay, how about we do at import, then in speech marks style.css. Now this should import our style sheet externally. Refresh it. It looks the same, and that's a good sign. If we view source, all we have is at import style.css, and that loads our file, this whole file here. So it keeps our code clean and has the exact same effect and does what we need. That concludes this beginner's tutorial on HTML. I'm also going to produce one on JavaScript and how you can add like movement to your page and nice looking things. That's going to be a lot more difficult than what we've just done here, and we'll be using something called jQuery. I hope you've enjoyed this and come back to see my JavaScript one when it's done. See you then.